Tomorrow will mark 1 year since a joyous Bastille Day celebration in Nice turned into a massacre. We all remember that, how horrible that was. We mourn the 86 lives that were stolen, and we pray for their loved ones. We also renew our resolve to stand united against these enemies of humanity and to strip them of their territory, their funding, their networks, and ideological support.
Author, actor, economist Ben Stein joins me now. Good to see you, Ben.
Honored to be here, as always.
What do you think of the president's remarks about terror in Paris just now?
I think it's great. I think the more strongly he speaks out, the better it is every single time. I think if people do not understand the importance of this war, they don't understand very much. And I am delighted that there was not a mass riot of protest at his arrival. I think I don't see how anyone can quarrel with the idea that we've got to squash these terrorists like a bug. You
know, he did receive a warm reception in Paris. He seemed to be even happy, saying, you know what, I'm going to maybe rethink the Paris Climate Accord. What do you think, Ben?
I doubt if he'll rethink the Paris Climate Accord because of the reception he got from the French cavalry on his way down the Champs-Élysées. But I think he is making a very good point. He's not going to back down from the fight against terror. And I think Mr. Macron is making a very good point. People considered him wishy-washy on terror, and he stood there very well with Trump, and he did a good job. Macron is a smart guy. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is a guy who studied John F. Kennedy very well. He studied American politics very, very well. He's learned the lessons. He's a damn smart guy.
You know, let's stay on that for a second, because President Trump is far different from President Obama's lead-from-behind approach. President Trump is robust. He's assertive about Western values. You mentioned JFK. The speech that JFK was going to give at the Dallas Trade Mart, and he also had said this previously, JFK was talking about the U.S. being the watchman on the walls of world freedom. That's exactly how President Trump sounds, but he's being criticized. I mean, so what are your thoughts about that, that somehow we fell through the memory hole in the media, and President Trump is not getting a fair shake on what he's saying about Western values?
Well, President Trump never gets a fair shake from the media. I mean, this is what we in law school call legal realism, which is the judge makes up his mind how the case is going to come out, depending on how he likes the necktie or the suit of the lawyer. Nowadays, maybe how he likes the shoes of the lawyer. But it has nothing to do with the reality of the situation. The Democrats will attack Trump no matter what he does. He cannot do right in their eyes no matter what. They're just determined to be a negative, non-constructive force no matter what, and it's really a damn shame. I mean, this is a president who has a plan, who has an agenda. It's a perfectly good plan, a good agenda. Let's debate it. Let's not just keep saying the guy is an awful guy. Let's debate the plans and the meat of the thing.
He's trying to fix the country. And by the way, to your point, Fed Chair Janet Yellen said today that we can expect economic growth below 3% for the next 5 years, Ben. I mean, come on. That means 15 years of economic growth below 3%. But now, Ben, we finally may be having the Trump agenda moving forward, basically seeing, you know, Obamacare reform possibly moving forward. What are your thoughts about, though, what Janet Yellen said?
I don't think Janet Yellen can predict the future. It's been my great privilege in life, in my latter part of my life, to become close friends with Warren Buffett. And he doesn't think he can predict the future. If he can't predict the future, Janet Yellen can't predict the future. But I do think we do need to have an end to the corporate tax at all, period. There should not be a corporate income tax at all. And as to the rest of it, that's all trivial. But to make that one big change would be a big thing. To take the foot off the oxygen tube that feeds American business by lowering regulation, that's an incredibly vital one, too. I mean, we have been attacking the energy sector, the automobile sector, over and over and over again relentlessly. Let's not attack them. Let's work with them. America's business is business. That's what Calvin Coolidge said, and he was absolutely right.
It feels like they're finally open for business after, you know, subpar growth for at least 10 years, right?
You know what? I have a very, very smart friend who's in the for-profit education sector, and they do a great job at her company. And she said for the first time in her life, she feels like it's smooth sailing and that the winds are at her back ever since we got Trump as president. That's a very good feeling, and I think that explains a lot of the stock market rise.
Yeah, but we do have Senate Republicans unveiling a new revised health care bill. Maybe the Republicans are, could get to a vote happening next week. The House may join the Senate in working through the August recess to get it done. Ben, the idea is just pass something, get it done, and fix it afterward. I mean, that's what happened with Obamacare. They kept tweaking Obamacare. But let's go through it, Ben. The legislation does keep key taxes on the wealthy. It's more than that. It provides billions of dollars for insurance companies to stop premium increases. Some conservatives don't like that. Pre-existing conditions are still covered. It also includes $45 billion in funding to help fight the opioid drug abuse epidemic, hitting large parts of the nation. But, Ben, Senator Rand Paul talked to Maria Bartiromo this morning. He's saying he doesn't like it. He's saying it's still a big spending bill. Let's listen.
But people forgot their promise. Their promise wasn't that, oh, we're going to make sure everybody has an insurance premium of X. Our promise was to repeal the disaster that is Obamacare. And if we don't repeal it, we're going back on our promise.
All right, let's check health insurance stocks on this news. United, Anthem, and Humana ending the day in the red, Cigna and Aetna in the green. Ben, what do you think of this new revised Senate health reform bill?
I think as long as it keeps in pre-existing conditions, as long as it makes it possible for any person who was willing to jump through the bureaucratic hoops to get insurance, that's fine with it. And by the way, I don't think it's going to affect the stock market at all. This has really almost nothing to do with corporate earnings, which is what the stock market's all about. It has nothing to do with interest rates, which is a lot of what the stock market is about. I think I'd like to see a bill get passed, but I don't think it's at all crucial to the stock market or to investors generally. The investors can just ignore it.
But they want tax reform, right? So that's linked, right, Ben?
Well, yeah, but yes, but the tax reform involved in the health care is trivial compared with getting rid of the corporate tax.